evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's episode of Morte D'Arthur. Tonight, Sir Tristram will smite serious, but I can promise you that. So if on this fine Tuesday you are in the mood for some smiting and for some waving of swords, you've come to the right place. And then I am very glad to see you. So welcome. Hello Black Rabbit. Hello Queen. Hello Julie. Hello. Come in. How are we all this evening? I hope we're feeling very well. This evening, I promise not to bounce around in my seat so much so you won't have any dodgy squeaking. I'll also try not to read with my head off the page like that. All will be good. Which is what we're here for, isn't it? That's what we like to see. Hello everybody, come in. Hello Caroline. Hello Cesar, come in. Welcome to tonight's show. We'll give it another minute or so, maybe even two, before we get started. And I introduce you all to where we are in the tale so far. Which might be more exciting the way Mallory tells it. Who knows? Well, we know. The intros are exciting. The intros are they're not the best bit. They're my favourite bits. I won't drop off my seat, Rabbit. Don't worry. Hello, Taz. My seat and my buttocks are melded quite firmly together. In fact, I've been here all night because I superglued myself to the chair last night. I've had a change of clothes, obviously, but otherwise, yep, I have been unable to leave. Periscope is now my only way of communicating with the world. Which actually, if you think about it, like some weird kind of rear window in reverse. Oh, good lord, that's a good idea for a story. Instead of rear window with the guy looking out, it will be Periscope with the man looking in. Oh, that's some kind of introspective art house flick. Ladies and gents, next time you see me, I'll be collecting my Palme d'Or from the Cannes Films Festival. I'll just leave you now. Tonight's show's over. I'm going to go make this... No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing! Teasing! Sometimes I tease because it makes me smile. And hopefully it makes you guys smile as well. Anyway, let's get into tonight's show, shall we? Ladies and gents, I've been waiting for this all day. I've been very excited about this. We are telling the tale of Sir Tristram. Sir Tristram, for those of you who don't know by now, and if you don't know by now, where have you been? For this has been true for hundreds of years. Sir Tristram, second greatest knight in all the realm after Sir Lancelot himself, is the knight of King Mark of Cornwall, and yet King Mark hates Sir Tristram most foully, because Tristram is in love with Mark's wife, Queen Isolde, and Isolde is madly in love with Sir Tristram as well, and so each night King Mark plans to slay Tristram. Indeed, by now King Mark would perhaps have slain Tristram, if not, ladies and gents, if not for the fact that King Mark's kingdom of Cornwall has just been invaded by the evil Captain Elias. Captain Elias, this vagabond man who has come out of the dark forests of South Britain. King Elias, Captain Elias I should say, who has taken his army and stormed up to the gates of Tintagel and demanded that King Mark should give up the castle, but he has held siege within. Now it's well known, ladies and gents, that Cornish knights are a weak sort of knights, and Captain Elias suspects that it won't be long before King Mark has to give up his castle. But King Mark has sent word for Sir Tristram. Sir Tristram, ladies and gents, the only strong knight worthy in all of Cornwall, the only man who could help King Mark to withstand this attack, just so happens to be the man that King Mark hates most in the world. In fact, King Mark, as of recently, has been forcing Tristram to go off into battle after battle, into tournament after tournament, working him till he was weary with the purpose of leaving him wounded and battered, giving him no time for recovery. So that when the war itself broke out, Tristram was in a priory recovering from broken ribs. And so King Mark has had to wait 10 days before Sir Tristram has been able to recover enough to come to his aid. But even though Tristram knows that King Mark has hated him, Tristram has come anyway, for his code of knightly chivalry has insisted that he must. And so, last night, ladies and gents, as we ended our tale, we saw Sir Tristram ride up to the gates of Tintagel with a force of men taken from King Arthur's court. And there, as he rode up the entranceway to the castle, he fought 1, 2, 3, 4, smiting left, right and centre, ladies and gentlemen. He was a flurry of silver and blows as he hacked down the men who guarded the entrance to Tintagel, and then came through the gates to meet with King Mark. Of course, there are still knights from the forces of Captain Elias camped just down the valley of the castle of Tintagel. And though Tristram may have managed to get himself inside the castle, he certainly hasn't killed enough men to be able to allow all those within the castle to leave. And so, ladies and gents, we begin tonight's tale with Sir Tristram within the castle of Tintagel, Captain Elias at the door, and much smiting to come. So, on the morn, Elias the captain came, and he bade King Mark to come out and do battle. For now the good knight Sir Tristram is entered. It will be a shame to you, said Elias, to keep your walls. And when King Mark heard this threat, he was angry, and said no word, but went to Sir Tristram and asked him his counsel. Sir, said Tristram, will you that I should give him his answer? Yes, yes, said King Mark. And then Sir Tristram said thus to the messenger, bear your lord word from the king and I, that we will do battle with him tomorrow upon the plain field. What is your name? Said the messenger. Know you well that my name is Sir Tristram de Lyon. And therewith the messenger departed and told his lord Elias all that he had heard. Sir, said Tristram unto King Mark, I pray that you will give me leave to have rule of this battle. I pray you take the rule of the battle, said King Mark. And then Sir Tristram let devise the battle in what manner it should be. He let depart his host in 6 parties, and ordained what manner it should be, that said Dinas the seneschal should have forewarning, and other knights would rule over what was left. And that same night Sir Tristram snuck from the castle, sneaking down the Cornish coast to find the ships of Captain Elias. And, hidden under darkness, he burnt all of that man's ships within the cold water. Later, Elias knew that it was of Sir Tristram's doing, for he said that now we must face him, and we shall never escape, not a single mother's son of us. And therefore, fair fellows, fight freely tomorrow against Tristram and the Cornish men, and miscomfort you not, for any knight, though he be the best knight in the world, he might not defeat all of us. Then they organised their battle in 4 parties, wonderly well apparelled and garnished with men of arms, and thus within they issued. And they set about freely upon them, and there Sir Dinas did great deeds of arms when they came together upon the battlefield. Not for then Sir Dinas and his fellowship were put to worse, but as the battle was beginning to turn, then came Sir Tristram, who slew 2 knights dead with 1 spear. Then he slew on his right hand, slew on the left hand, and men marvelled that ever he might do such deeds of arms. And then he might see sometimes that the battle was driven a bow draught from the castle, and sometimes the battle was at the gates of the castle, and then came Captain Elias rushing here and there, and he hit King Mark sorely upon the helm, that made him fall from his saddle. Then Sir Dinas, seeing this, brought King Mark back again upon horseback, and therewith came in Sir Tristram like a lion, and he met with Sir Elias upon the field of battle, and he smote him a blow so sore upon the helm that he fell down from his horse, and thus those 2 men fought together until it was night. And for the great slaughter and for the wounded people, each party drew away to their rest. And when King Mark was come within the castle of Tintagel, he lacked of his knights of 100. And those outside the castle who lay siege had lost 200. And they searched the wounded men on both parties, and then they went to council. And know you well that either party was loath to fight any more, so that either might escape with their worship. When Elias, the captain, understood the death of his men, he made great sorrow. And then he knew that his men would be loath to go to battle again, and he was angry out of measure. And so he sent word to King Mark, in great despite, asking whether he would find a knight that would fight against him, man against man. And said Elias, if he might slay King Mark's knight, then he would have tribute paid each year from Cornwall. And if his knight would slay Elias's knight, then Elias would release his claim over Cornwall forever. Then the messenger departed to King Mark, and told him how his lord Elias had sent him word to fighten the knight who would do battle man against man. And when King Mark understood the messenger, he bade him abide, that he should have his answer. Then he called all his baronage together, to know what was the best counsel. They said all at once, to fight in a field we have no lust. For had it not been for Sir Tristram's prowess, then it had been likely that we never should have escaped. And therefore, sir, as we deem, it should be well done to find a knight who would do battle with him. For he is a great knight indeed. Halfway through tonight's tale, ladies and gents, and we've seen a bloody battle upon Tintagel's doorstep. But just think how much more boring this show would be if I didn't have hair to shake dramatically and waft out of my face. But Captain Elias, seeing that his men have no further desire to fight, and worried that he might have to flee the field of battle, has sent a challenge to King Mark, that King Mark should send his best knight against Elias's best knight, and the 2 men should fight upon the field of battle, man to the death, and the successful knight will win the battlefield, so that if Elias's man is successful, Cornwall will forever pay yearly tribute to Elias, and if Elias's knight dies, then Elias should leave immediately. Who else would Cornwall send in such a situation than that great knight Sir Tristram? And now, ladies and gents, now we must find out just who Elias will send against Tristram. I will try not to wake the dog. I did have to apologise to the dog when I saw him the other day. Anyway, part 2. Not for then, when all this was said, could they find any knight who would do battle against him. Sir King, said they all, there's no man here who would dare to fight with Elias. Alas, said King Mark, I am ashamed and utterly destroyed unless my nephew Sir Tristram would take this battle upon himself. Know you well, they said, that all yesterday he was very much on hand, and he is weary from his battle making, and is sorely wounded. Where is he? Said King Mark. Sir, they said, he is in his bed to recover. Alas, said King Mark, but I have the succour of my nephew Sir Tristram. Without him I am utterly destroyed for ever. And therewith he went to Sir Tristram where he lay. And it was told to Tristram of what King Mark had said. Therewith Sir Tristram arose lightly, put on a long gown, and came before the king and all of his lords. When he saw them all so dismayed, he asked the king and the lords what tidings they had. There have never been worse tidings, said the king. And therewith he told them all of how he had word of Elias to find a knight who would fight for the tribute of Cornwall. And none could he find. And as for you, said the king and all the lords, we may ask no more of you other than shaming ourselves, for through your hardiness yesterday you saved all of our lives. Sir, said Tristram, now I understand that you would have my help. Reason should be that I should do all that lies in my power to do so, saving my worship and my life. However, I am sorely bruised and hurt. And since Sir Elias is so determined to do this, I shall fight with him, or else they shall be slain upon the field of battle. But perhaps I will save Cornwall from this tribute. And therefore lightly call his messenger, and he shall be answered. For as yet my wounds are green, and they will be sorer 7 nights from now than they are now. And therefore he shall have his answer, that I will do battle with him tomorrow. Then was the messenger departed. Hark, my fellow, said Sir Tristram, go fast unto your lord, and bid him to make this true assurance on his part, for the tribute as the king here shall make on his part. And then tell your lord Sir Elias that I, Sir Tristram, King Arthur's knight and knight of the Round Table, will, as tomorrow, meet with your lord upon horseback and do battle for as long as my horse might endure, and after that to do battle on him on foot until one of us falls. The messenger beheld Sir Tristram from top to toe, and therewith he departed and came to Elias and told him of how he had been answered by Tristram. And therewith he was made hostage on both parties, and was made sure, as it might be, that whichever party had the victory so to end. And then were both hosts assembled on both parts of the field outside of the castle of Tintagel. And there was none but Sir Tristram and Sir Elias armed. So, when the appointment was made, they departed in sunder, and then they came together with all their might, so that their horses might run, and each knight smote each other so hard that both horses and knights went to the earth. Not for then they both lightly arose, dressed their shields upon their shoulders, with naked swords in their hands, and they dashed together that seemed a flaming fire about. And thus they traced and traversed, and hewed on helms and hauberks, and cut away many cantles of their shields, and either one was wounded each other passingly sore, so that the hot blood fell freshly upon the earth. And when they had fought the maintenance of an hour, Sir Tristram waxed faint and forbode, and gave sorely aback. That was seen by Sir Elias, who followed fiercely upon him, and wounded him in many places. And ever did Sir Tristram trace and traverse, and went forward with him here and there, covered with his shield, so that he might all strokes weakly against one, until finally he might be overcome. For Sir Elias had given Tristram 20 strokes against his single one, and there was laughing of Elias's party, and great sorrow upon King Mark's, for it seemed that Tristram could not withstand Elias's blows. Alas, said the king, we are ashamed and destroyed all for ever. For Sir Tristram was never so well matched except against Sir Lancelot. And thus they stood and beheld both parties, the one laughing, the other weeping. And Sir Tristram, in that moment, remembered his Lady Isolde, who looked upon him, and who he was likely to never come in her presence again. And then he pulled up his shield that before then had hung low. Then he dressed his shield unto Elias, and of a sudden came upon the man, and gave him sudden sad strokes 20 against Elias's one, and all that broke Elias's shield, and he broke Elias's hauberk, and the hot red blood of Elias ran down to the earth. Then began King Mark to laugh, and all the Cornish men did so, and Elias's men began to weep upon the edge of the field of battle, and ever Sir Tristram said to Sir Elias, yield yourself. Then, when Sir Tristram saw him so staggering upon the ground, he said, Sir Elias, I am right sorrow for you. For you are a passing good knight as ever I have met, except perhaps Sir Lancelot, and therefore withdraw, Sir Elias. And Elias staggered back, dropped his sword, fell to the earth, and there he died. What shall I do? Said Sir Tristram unto King Mark. Is finally this battle at an end? And then those of Elias's party, seeing their captain dead, departed. And King Mark took many of them prisoners to redress the harms and the scathes that he had had of them. And the remnant he sent back to their own country to borrow from their fellows. And then was Sir Tristram's wounds searched, and he was well healed. And yet, for all this, King Mark would still have slain Sir Tristram. But for all that ever Sir Tristram saw or heard by King Mark, yet he would never have been aware of King Mark's planned treason. And in surviving the battle, ever would Sir Tristram be where the Lady Isolde could be found. And there, ladies and gents, we end. I won't do the knuckle thing. I end tonight's tale. The battle is over. It looked for the longest time like Sir Tristram would finally fall and die, but he did not. He did not, ladies and gents. Tristram survived. And even though Tristram has single-handedly given Cornwall victory over the war against Captain Elias, still, ladies and gents, still does King Mark plot for the death of Tristram. The man's hatred is insatiable. And tomorrow night we'll find out just what more is to come. and how much further King Mark's treason can stretch. I can't wait. I cannot wait. He is dastardly indeed, Julia, and I will see you back here, same time, same place, same back channel, for more incredible stories tomorrow night. They're absolutely jumping on the bed. I feel like a Tom Cruise about to jump onto a couch and profess my love for Tristram. That's how I feel tonight. Tonight's episode was good. I'm gonna tweet Facebook the link out to this one. This one was a keeper. This was a good episode. I am happy with tonight's episode. I hope you guys were as well. And hello to everybody watching online tonight, by the way. If you have enjoyed the show, then you should come back tomorrow and you should download Periscope and follow me on Periscope so that you can watch the show live and banter and talk about these things and tell me when my hair is in the way. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, Julia, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you, Isella. Thank you, Cameron. I'm glad you enjoyed tonight's performance. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed tonight's performance, which on a scale of 1 to 10 has to be somewhere like 28. Definitely when I slip out of cam. But I wanted some kind of Periscope alert, so I just get a little buzzer that just flashes whenever I disappear. But thank you. I like this. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for everyone who is sharing tonight, by the way. Sharing means an awful lot to me. Sharing is how we get more people to watch the show. And the more people who are watching and the more people who are giving hearts, the more energetic I get. So it's a nice equation. 45 people watching, giving hearts. Lots of energy from me. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Queen. I am glad that you are charmed. And yes, I enjoy the wildness. I do need to get this fringe sorted. Actually, I don't know. Do I need to get the fringe sorted? I quite like being able to just do that. I'm enjoying doing that. If I get my fringe sorted, I won't be able to do that passionately. Anyway, enough of that. Coming up, still to come, ladies and gents, I have been in a Leonard Cohen mood all day. So, in about 5 minutes' time, not even 5 minutes' time, I've got it right here. In 2 minutes' time, ladies and gents, I will start tonight's Poetry Live. Tonight on Poetry Live, I am going to be reading the poems of Leonard Cohen, including I Heard a Man Who Spoke Words So Beautifully. I am excited to do Leonard Cohen. I am looking forward to doing Leonard Cohen. So join me in a few more minutes to see some Leonard Cohen. Thank you so much for everyone who came tonight. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Amanda and Amy, Karen and Marcella, and all of you folk who are watching it live. I don't know your name, so I can't say thank you to you. But if you tweet me at SimonTellsTales, or Instagram me at SimonTellsTales, or Facebook me at SimonTellsTales, or just follow me on Periscope at SimonTellsTales, I can say a big whopping thank you to you, which you surely deserve. Anyway, Leonard Cohen coming up in a couple of minutes on Poetry Live. I can't wait. Bye-bye.